Welcome to this explainer. Right now, the metallurgy industry is in the middle of a massive paradigm shift, fundamentally flipping the script on what we consider trash. For a long time, industrial byproducts and discarded electronics were simply seen as the end of the road. But today, enormous quantities of highly valuable metals are literally sitting in those exact waste streams, largely unrecovered by conventional methods. We are entering this incredible era of waste valorization, and it is absolutely fascinating. Just take a look at this staggering number, billions of tons. That represents the global stockpiles of red mud, which is a caustic, toxic industrial waste byproduct currently just sitting around as a massive environmental liability. When we talk about waste in the metallurgy industry, the scale is almost hard to comprehend. But what if those billions of tons of liability were actually an untapped resource?
But hey, the value isn't just in massive industrial sites. It's quite literally sitting right in our pockets. Believe it or not, a single ton of discarded smartphones actually contains a significantly higher concentration of certain valuable metals than an equivalent ton of newly mined geological ore. It makes recycling electronic waste not just a nice environmental initiative, but something that is highly economically compelling.
So, here is our roadmap for exploring this shift. We'll start with the urban mining concept, then move into e-waste and dead batteries, rethink red mud, look at the extraction toolkit, and finally wrap up with the economics of waste. All right, Section 1, the urban mining concept, shifting the paradigm. This concept of urban mining requires a complete shift in how we think about the life cycle of manufactured goods, and it directly complements circular metallurgy. Instead of digging a brand new hole in the ground, we're basically looking at the manufactured world around us as the new ore deposit. We are actively extracting valuable metals from existing products and waste streams rather than relying solely on primary sources. And this strategic move goes way beyond just cleaning up the planet. Urban mining actively supplements primary geological mining and plays a huge role in securing critical mineral supply chains. By extracting rare earth elements from our own waste, we directly address the supply concentration concerns that traditional, geographically limited mining sources often present. Moving right along to Section 2, e-waste and dead batteries, consumer-scale mines. If we look at the individual level, our modern tech and batteries are absolutely packed with underutilized critical metals. We're talking about significant, highly concentrated quantities of gold, silver, and copper in your old electronics. We've got rare earth elements hidden inside the magnets of speakers, motors, and hard drives. And of course, there's lithium, cobalt, and nickel locked inside end-of-life batteries from EVs and consumer tech. Battery recycling in particular is just exploding right now as an application of critical metal recovery. By actively recovering these specific battery metals, we significantly reduce our dependence on newly mined materials. This directly supports the broader supply security that's absolutely vital to sustain the future of electric vehicles and green technology. Okay, Section 3, rethinking red mud, industrial scale mines. Scaling things back up to a massive industrial level, we have materials like red mud. For decades, this iron-rich waste generated during aluminum production was seen purely as a toxic environmental liability. But today, researchers and pilot projects are actively developing complex processes to deal with the specific caustic waste, aiming to extract the meaningful concentrations of iron, titanium, and even rare earth elements trapped inside. And the potential here is vast across multiple industries. Whether we're looking at red mud from aluminum, metal slag being evaluated for trace metals beyond its traditional use in cement, or even decades-old mining tailings, modern technology is reassessing all these historical materials. Older extraction methods often left significant recoverable metal value behind, simply because they just didn't have the tech to capture it at the time. Which brings us to Section 4, the extraction toolkit, the new pickaxes. Now, processing these complex mixed waste streams is technically much more challenging than conventional ore. Before we even attempt to extract a single ounce of metal, AI-driven sorting and analysis technology is being heavily applied to characterize them. By doing this, AI basically helps us identify the most economically promising recovery opportunities before we spend a dime on actual chemical processing. We're also seeing a massive shift in the extraction technology itself. Unlike traditional smelting, which relies on intense heat, hydrometallurgy uses aqueous chemical solutions.
These solution-based techniques are widely favored now because they can be highly selective in dissolving and separating specific, valuable target trace elements from really complex mixed waste materials.
Oh, and then there's bioleaching. I absolutely love this concept. This is an emerging recovery technique where specifically selected microorganisms are used to chemically extract the metals. We literally have microscopic biological miners eating away at the waste and leaving the valuable metal behind. It offers a potentially incredible, much lower energy alternative to traditional processing.
Finally, let's wrap up with Section 5, the economics of waste, making it viable. Look, microscopic miners and AI sorting are amazing, but the central challenge always comes down to economic viability. Because processing complex waste streams is inherently harder than refining conventional ore, it requires a delicate balance. But we are reaching a major tipping point. As the market prices for critical minerals continue to rise, and as our processing tech continually gets better, increasing numbers of previously uneconomical recovery projects are suddenly becoming commercially viable.
And, the free market isn't acting alone here either. We are seeing a massive push from government policies worldwide. Leaders increasingly support critical metal recovery because they recognize a powerful dual benefit. You get the obvious environmental wins of waste reduction, combined with the absolute strategic necessity of securing critical mineral supply chains for the future.
So, after exploring the science, the new extraction toolkits, and the massive scale of these hidden resources, it really forces us to rethink everything. How do you view the trash we generate every day? Is it a discarded smartphone or an industrial byproduct, just a disposal liability? Or is it actually the foundation of our future infrastructure?
As we can see, we are right in the middle of a broader shift in how the metallurgy industry values waste. We're entering an era where critical metal recovery isn't just an environmental bonus, it is a strategic necessity that extends the circular economy to places we used to just completely ignore. The technology is here, the economics are aligning. The only real question left is, how quickly can we scale these modern pickaxes before we run out of time and resources to build our future?